Hey, it's Jade. Today I am in beautiful San Francisco. It is my first time here, actually. I'm drinking a hazelnut latte with almond milk, and I'm going to be asking people how they feel about students returning to the classroom amidst the craziness that is this year. So, let's go. What do you think about kids going back to the classroom this year for school? Are you a student, first of all?
Yeah.
How do you feel about students returning to the classroom or campus this semester with the craziness of 2020?
Honestly, I feel like it would be good because everything online is so stressful. Like, thinking about online is just like, I don't know, like you can barely, to me, I barely understand in class. So like online is really stressful for me.
I'm first day at home learning right now.
And why is that?
Because the virus.
So the debate is like kids don't transmit it the same way adults do. What are your thoughts about that? And
I don't think we have enough data on that, and we shouldn't be experimenting with our kids.
what do you miss most about school?
I don't know, my friends in general.
Why do you miss school?
Because I like playing with my friends. I like doing
Math and my friends.
How do you feel about students returning to the classroom this semester?
That's a very good question because you hear so much of it on the news that I don't know, not having kids, but I would want everybody to be safe. So it sounds like they're not sure. So at this point, I would say no, probably.
Err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
Well, I think that there's a lot of different variables, right? Like, depending on how old the student is and their attention level, I think that it's not really an issue for someone who's, college or university level, high school even, potentially even middle school. I think really the pitfalls are when it's like extremely young students, because how do you get them to focus on anything, let alone a computer? Yeah.
Do you feel like you learn more like in person, or do you feel like you learn more online?
In person, I guess.
Okay.
Because there's more like communication.
What do you think about students going back to the classroom versus socially distanced learning or like online learning?
Honesty? Well, honesty, I think everything happens for a reason. And it all depends on the ages, at least from 7th grade to college. That's what I think.
You think 7th grade to college should
go to school?
Do you think kids should learn from the computer, or do you think they should go back like normal?
Yeah, that's just a question. You watch the news all the time, so go ahead. You can answer that question.
Are you a student?
No, I just graduated.
How do you feel about students going back to the classroom for in-person learning versus online learning? Are you for a certain one over the other?
I would say I'm totally against it. I think it's dangerous considering how the current climate is and how I don't think virus cases are going any lower. I think if anything, it's just going to be consistently how it is, and it's not going anywhere down.
I think that's dangerous for the kids, especially they're still young, their immune system is not that strong. So I think it's better to study in the house.
Do you think that kids should go back to school?
That's a tricky answer that I don't think there's an easy answer for, but I have quite a few teacher friends. Seeing them prep the kinds of ways that they'd have to change their classroom, have personal protective equipment, all this stuff, like have recess be in pods and all these things. I think that for the time being, at least for the first semester, if not the entire school year, it is better to be in the homes with remote learning. And I know remote learning is sometimes 10 times worse and harder in terms of workload than in-person learning, but the ultimate goal is to get the kids back to the classroom.
Well, I've got my own views on the whole pandemic, but a lot of people learn differently. So if you're going to expect everyone to learn just online, you're not giving everyone the equal opportunity they need to learn if they all learn differently. So in my opinion, people should have the choice to either go back to school if they want to take the risk of getting sick or something, or stay home if they don't feel safe.
I think a hybrid is probably the best way to go about it with a lot of regulations. I know that that's what my school is doing.
Are you a student?
Currently not, just graduated.
Awesome. How do you feel about the whole situation about going back versus staying online?
Yeah, so I agree with what he said as well. Like, I don't think the schools have really planned it accordingly anyways. Like, you see online recently, schools in the hallways, the kids are all like not keeping social distance. So it's not gonna help lower our cases at all. And I think also like online learning is the safest possible route right now, but also like the UCs and like the colleges need to like adjust the financial situation, because we know people that are still going to school that are getting charged for like the full price for orientation, $70-$80 just to have like one-on-one meetings or even parking when nobody's gonna be on campus. So yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with schools having students come back yet at all.
Financial aspect, especially with colleges, they're largely a financial institution, and the money that colleges get, especially like Ivy League colleges, is bigger than a lot of countries. And if you just look at the money trail, you can kind of see that. And then also on the micro level, I've talked to mothers who were so ready to get their kids out of the house that they're ready to risk their kids dying. So, I mean, it's both sides. But I'm from Louisiana. I talk to a lot of dumb rednecks who don't even believe it's real. So there's a lot of shit at play here.
How do you feel about the whole in-classroom learning versus distance learning?
You know, I really don't have an opinion on it. I'm not sure about the science, how children contract or spread it, or how it's spread in school.
I don't know. Everyone's like saying how kids won't really get it, you know, but some kids might get it, so.
Are you a student?
No, I haven't been a student for a while, so.
Me either.
I'm not too worried about it, but if I was a parent, I'd be very worried about it. That's for damn sure.
Did you guys like participate in any protests?
We had a huge protest in downtown Riverside, but like it was crazy to see the amount of people that were there, like literally close to 1,000, which is crazy.
Maybe people who are saying, who agree with you guys, like we shouldn't go back to in-person learning, but they're going out to protest with like obviously thousands of people. Do you think that that's like a contrast between those two ideas? Like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, so I know that's one of like the main arguments people have raised. They're like, okay, well, then why is everybody that's going out protesting, like nobody's blaming them? But I think they were wearing their masks. People weren't like physically interacting with one another. Like in the schools, it's different. And I think also like it's a matter of the importance. Like Black Lives Matter, you know, that's something that needs to like, I don't know why barely it's getting pushed, but like you can't just sit back and not do anything regardless of the situation. So I don't think it's really fair to compare the two.
I think that smaller class sizes should be able to resume, and as long as you can maintain distance within your classroom.
Yeah,
like for our school it's like recitation, so it's like 20 people classes, and I feel like those are fine. Like lectures obviously not, like those are easy to do online, but like where there's smaller like venues, I feel like it's smart to at least like be back in some sort of classroom.
Are you in college or high school?
I'm in high school.
How do you feel about going back in the classroom versus distance learning?
Well, I personally like going back in the classroom, but I understand that it's not a safe option. So the only option we have now is to stay at home.
I personally hate distance learning just because I feel like I work better in a place that I know is designated for educational purposes, but I know that staying home is for a good cause. So I would rather stay home than risk students getting sick, you know, and then upping the cases and this all lasting longer.
Are you a student?
Yes, I am.
Are you in college or high school?
I'm in college.
How do you feel about students going back in the classroom versus online distance learning?
Personally, I don't like it because I feel like if one student is sick, everyone has to go in quarantine, then the economy is gonna go down. But I don't know.
Is that what you missed most? Is your friends probably?
Yeah, and my teacher.
All right, y'all. I think that's gonna be the end of this video here in San Francisco. I got a lot of varied answers. I would love to know your thoughts. Please comment down below. Please like, subscribe, follow my Instagram, and I'll see you in my next video. What do you think about the whole mask debate? What do you lean towards?
Oh, don't get me going with this mask thing. Oh my God.
I know.